So I've just come across this. This is a HKS Circle Earth grounding kit, and I think I was given this by John, probably a couple of years ago. Now these go for good money. There are a few bits missing, but I've ordered a few bits, and hopefully I can make something of it. And I'm going to put it on the 86 because I still suffer with a little bit of static. So yeah, let's see what we can make of it. So I still have the original purple earth cables, but obviously this isn't going to suit the 86. So these I'm going to leave to one side, and I've purchased some black. Now this is 3 meters off from a local motor factors, and it literally cost me a few quid. And I think it will look a bit more OEM. I have a selection of fittings. I wasn't quite sure which sizes I need. I have 6 and 8 mil. I've got this crimp type, 8 and 6 millimeter holes, or I've got these which are 8 mil ring connectors. I have ordered some brass ones, but I'm not quite sure which ones I'm going to use, so I'll get to that. What I'm going to need to do is get to the car, work out where I want to place the earth straps, and then cut these to length, and then I can make my mind up which fitting is going to be best. With regards of this, it's pretty much complete. I have just inserted this. So the Japanese batteries are smaller in terminal size. So this is just an adapter which you press in, which allows it to fit. So I've already put that in. It could do with a little bit of a polish. But what's mainly missing is a lid. It's like a plastic or perspex cover with HKS etched into it. So I've had one made. Just a bit of black perspex. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to have etched in it at the moment. I don't think I'll have HKS. I might go for something that maybe relates to the 86 or just Toyota, but I'm not sure. What I need to do is remove these bits, line it up with these 2 holes. I think they're an M3. Drill the holes, and then I have a lid. Just raided my little parts bin, and I found a few spares. So I've got some stainless steel cap heads, just in case if I need more. So I have 5 of the original. I'm not quite sure how many lengths of cable I'm going to run. But yeah, got some new ones if they're needed. And these, they are M3. So hopefully that's long enough with a little washer, and that will hold the bit of perspex on, which screws into there. Just like that. So what I'll do is I'll strip this down. I'll line up the bit of perspex that I've had made, and I'll get these holes marked up, and then I'll drill them out. And there you go. These are actually a 2.5 mil screw, not a 3 mil screw, as I originally thought. The holes I have drilled to 2.5, and they fit lovely, and all lines up really well. So yeah, that was easy enough. I just got to decide what I want etched onto it. But yeah, I'll start rebuilding it, and head to the car, and work out where I'm going to fit the earths, and cut them to length, ready to decide what crimp that I'm going to use. Just running a tap through all these holes. Just a couple of them don't really want to accept some of the bolts, so just giving them a good clean out. So I've cut this down, this little bit in here. So this as a whole sits lower. You can see it just hits, or just about misses, that terminal just here. But even with that on the car, no matter what orientation I fit it, unfortunately it just sits that little bit too high, so it does actually foul the underside of the bonnet. But what's brilliant with these is that you can have something what's called a divorced setup. So I remove this plate here with the bit of perspex. I'm going to fit it probably on one of these here, so it will sit just like that. And then this bottom bit sits on the negative terminal. And what's brilliant with HKS is this bit here is actually an extra for this reason. So if that's on there, you get the main or the existing earth, which then bolts onto that. And what's useful is that this is actually for the Japanese cars. So this is the Japanese terminal size. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take this apart, find a way of mounting it onto here. And then, yeah, I can go about finding out where's the best place to put all these earth straps and cut them to size. So here's a quick look at what I meant. So removed the top plate, which is just there, fitted that to the battery, and then the original earth wire just then attaches to the terminal on this. So with regards of mounting that little plate, I have this little bit of brass here. Now this terminal just here, this little bit of earth, I made a while back, and this is what is attached to the battery at the moment. So I can remove that, but if I can somehow utilise this bit of brass, fix it to the body here and attach that plate, that'll work for me. So yeah, I'll see what I can make of this. This must be like the third or fourth trip now to and from my unit just to make this little bracket. Okay, here we go. So, very simple setup. I just measured a 45-degree angle and bent it, and what that allowed it to do is kick off to the left-hand side. And then, if I can focus, there you go, I just rounded off the edge. So I'll remove this bolt and I'll put that in its place. And that's done, guys. So now all I've got to do is cut a length of wire to connect to one of these, to the battery just on here. So that connects the battery to the grounding kit. And from that point on, I can then just cut the wires to the individual lengths I require for where they're going to fit. So I've got a couple on the body, which I think I've got spaces for. And I'd like one to go then onto the engine. So yeah, I'll have about 4 or 5. One of them's going to be used for the battery. So if I can get 4 out of it, I'll be more than happy. Okay, so that is all the individual lengths cut. Now just to put the crimps on the end. And there you go. So I have 5 cables, 4 of which will go on the HKS circle earth. And then I have another one which I've made, which replaces this one here. So under this conduit, I think the cable is blue. So I thought, why not? I've got some spare cable, I'll replace that. This is the tool I used. So this is a crimper, and these are the terminals that I have used. So they're different sizes. So each one, so for instance, this one is a 10mm hole to the 6mm, which is required for the circle earth. This is going to be bolted to the block. I've got a couple going to some existing earths, which are also 6mm, and I think in one of these, I think it's this one, that's got an 8mm hole, which goes to a bolt on the frame rail. So yeah, should be more than enough. So let's get them on. So just finished fitting that one, and also the link here, which is what's attached to the terminal. There. So now, just to fit all the others. Around 40 minutes later, and that is all the other cables fitted. So I have one which is just here, so it's quite a short link. This one here wraps round As you can see, it just goes up there and attaches to an existing earth. I have one here which goes onto that bolt just there, which is also an existing earth to block. And then the final one here, if you can just about see here, just bolts to the block. And just to finish it off, the cap. So I found this silver sticker. I had these made when I did a little Tykes car for my daughter 2-3 years ago, and for now it will work perfectly. All done. Looks nice and neat and not bad for a freebie from a friend. So this should hopefully reduce the static, but also allow a better idle and apparently, whether I believe it or not, fuel economy. But as I said, it was completely free, and to be fair, doesn't look too out of place. Really happy with that. So get the battery attached, start her up, and get her clean, ready for a show that I have tomorrow.